is a blessing. It's a privilege. Not many people get to do it. You know what I mean, buddy boy? That's cool stuff, huh? Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. It takes dedication. You know what else takes dedication? Being a Cleveland Brown. See, being a Cleveland Brown is way more than just playing football. It's about being an elf. It's about coming to work every day with your hard hat and your Air Dorseys and your sweater. And you strap on those shoes and you go to work.
Coach, thoughts?
I can't wait to see him actually play some football. He's seen
underwear modeling.
Underwear model. He's got that piece. Didn't he have some other?
He's got the right personality for the league. We don't know if he's got the right football skills to back it up.
We do have the rookies typically every year. They are going to either mimic or they have some coaches, general managers and stuff that they do. I'm sure you got a couple guys that tried you.
Look, the skits, right? The skits are genius. I was nicknamed the Penguin by Laverius Coles. He said I walked like a penguin. And one of the rookies came in a full penguin outfit to a squad meeting, and it was funny. Yeah, but it wasn't something we necessarily shared on YouTube. Or,
you just shared it to the whole world. Well, because you go back and you're coaching, get used to that. It's a different world now.
No. I love that stuff, and a lot of the players are ridiculously funny, and it breaks up the monotony. But I like those things to be in-house. Like, let that be for the Browns. Let not it be for the whole world.
If people didn't see, that wasn't shared by Baker's Twitter. That was shared by the official team Twitter. So they obviously...
Okay, well, there you go. All right.
All right. What you don't know about Coach Mangini and Coach Belichick, both of them really do enjoy a good laugh.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that both of them really do walk like penguins.
Well, I mean, I definitely do.
Belichick? Come on.
I mean, no, I don't. Penguin?
I don't know. No.
Yeah, maybe a different animal.
Yes.
All right. Sticking with Cleveland.
Good times.
Yup. Dez Bryant visited the Browns last Thursday, but with the return of Josh Gordon, Dez Bryant became odd man out. We are 15 days away from the start of the 2018 season, and Dez is still unemployed. He's not with a team, he's not on a roster, he's not running routes. And besides Dez and his agent, there is one person still surprised Dez is jobless, and that is Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. We don't. All right, so Jerry Jones is coming out now and talking about how he is a little bit surprised, but not terribly surprised. He knows that Dez Bryant has the skill set. What's he?
That was actually the audio of what Jerry was saying to the rest of the other NFL teams. Right. He's telling Dez, oh, man, Dez, I think you should be on an NFL team and everything. I'm going to tell everyone. What do you say to the other teams?
And
silence.
And it's unfortunate we didn't have the audio because Jerry in that audio says, I don't know what type of shape Dez is in, then catches himself and says, I'm sure he's in great shape. He should be.
Oh, if he's the Dez I know.
If he's the Dez I know.
I'm talking about a guy that's no longer on your team.
He should be on a team. So why do you think he's not on a team, Coach?
Well, it's tough when the guy that fired you is your biggest advocate because then everybody looks at it and says, well, if he's so great, why isn't he there with you?
Yeah.
So
why do we have the topic bar? Can Dallas win with the lack of wide receivers?
Yeah. So we know that they have a shortage at that position, but they don't want Dez. And as much as you may advocate for him, it seems a little bit insincere. I guess would be the best word. You know, that other clip I think was out of what was that from?
From Hard Knocks.
From Hard Knocks.
Hugh Jackson.
And you know, it is a job interview. You're going for a job interview. You might want to dress up a little bit there. And
well, can I ask you about that? Because I saw that. And my first reaction was, I mean, he's wearing workout clothes, but he's an athlete. The headphones around the neck was an odd thing because it feels like you're perma distracted, even if it just seems like you're ready to go do something else. Chris absolutely seized on it. When you brought, like, would guys wear suits or dress clothes, or I mean, they're
or at least not have their
environment.
earphones on during an interview?
You would get the whole range of it, and their level of comfortableness. It's like when you have someone over for the first time and they sit on the couch and put their feet up on the ottoman. You know, that's not really a first time in the house type of move, and there was a extreme comfortableness in the way that he approached it. Maybe that's his style, but you also heard in the coaches meeting, he said, well, what are you looking for, Dez? And Dez said, you know, I want someone to be real. And if I was head coach, I'd be looking for him to say, well, I want to prove that Dallas was wrong. I want to be a leader. I want to push this offense forward, as opposed to just being real. I'd like to see some goals that are targeted towards making my team better.
When I met with the Minnesota Vikings, they asked me the question. I told them, I'm here to prove that Buddy Ryan wasn't right, that I was just a touchdown scoring wide receiver. I'm here to prove that I can be counted on. I can be a disciplined route runner. I can be an occasional deep threat. I am a good teammate. I'm here to prove those things. And to me, that was missed in that initial interview.
And when you hear that, you're like, okay, now I've got a motivated guy who's going to come in here, and he's not only going to play motivated, but he's going to play a little bit angry. And every single day he shows up, he's going to set a tone. And that guy is a really attractive guy, especially in August.
Yeah, I was not a guy you wanted to practice against when I got to Minnesota.
Yeah, but from a coaching perspective, that's exactly the guy that you want, as opposed to Chris coming and saying, you know, I want someone to be real, because that implies that the last situation didn't work out because he
it's
wasn't.
someone else. It implies
Yes.
it puts the onus on someone else. Like, he was trying to pay Hugh Jackson a compliment. If people don't watch it, he was clearly trying to say, listening to how Hugh talks, like, you're
I'm getting from you what I didn't get in my last
But
show.
you're absolutely right that what is unsaid there is, it is a removing of some of the culpability for what happened in Dallas from Dez and putting it on the former staff. I think your story's interesting because what Buddy Ryan said to you, to this day, motivates you. Forget a week later when you show up to Minnesota. I've heard you talk emotionally about Buddy Ryan said, I can't count on you. And I'm going to prove him wrong every day of my life, that I can be counted on. Now, this wasn't as maybe emotionally jarring for Dez as it was for you, and the situations are admittedly different, but it's still career-wise, this is the first traumatic career event of Dez's life. Like, he didn't get kicked out of no school. He hadn't been traded or cut before. The team that drafted him gave him a second contract. He became a Pro Bowler there, and then they said, we're better off without you. So that is an interesting takeaway from it.
So what are Dez Bryant's options now with the regular season starting in 2 weeks?
Well, options applies that there's more than one place for him to go. I don't know if he has any options. His options is to work out and be in the best possible shape that he can be in, to try to evaluate the feedback that he's gotten or his agent has gotten from teams that need a wide receiver, to be able to look at different teams and look at their situation, and if there is a need, maybe this is where I want to go, or maybe this is where I want to go. It's figuring out how much am I willing to take to play this season. You know, is my asking price too high? Will I take a contract that's incentive laden? You know, those are all decisions that are going to come into play. From a team perspective, if you can sign a guy after the first week of the season and not guarantee his money, that's the best case scenario.
I think the other thing that's hurting Dez right now is if you look at any of the league rankings, whether it's Pro Football Focus, any of the services that are essentially going into the year ranking different units, weakest wide receiver units. Dallas is one of them, and they moved on from it. The Jets are on everybody's list. They are going to be starting a rookie quarterback. Buffalo is on most people's list. They, I believe, are in short order going to be starting a rookie quarterback. San Francisco's on a lot of those lists. Garoppolo's not a rookie, but he's only started, 7 games in his NFL career. We saw that we think one of the things Dallas did for Dak was moving on from him. So you're trying to find the team that has a need at wide receiver and has an established quarterback that can deal with some of that I'm open, I'm always open. I was going down the list. Indy could be a fit. Indy has a need. He complements T.Y. Hilton well, and Andrew Luck is the unquestioned leader of that team. He doesn't have to, I know he's coming off the injury, but he's not proving himself the way a rookie would. But I went down the whole list. I'm like, Jacksonville, I couldn't believe it. Is like Indy to me, football-wise, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, but this world will change dramatically over the course of the weekend. Somebody's going to get hurt. You see it. We see it every week. The lineups change, the needs change. The other part of this equation is how good of a learner is he, and that's something that you research as well, because we're into week 3. We're through the bulk of this preseason. So now if you bring a guy in and he's a reps learner or it takes time, then the equation changes even more, because you may not have that guy that you're hoping to, the best version of him, till 3 or 4 weeks down the season. And are you willing to pay for that?
I think this is pretty universal. It's not geared towards the National Football League. If someone calls you and they got a job and you don't have a damn job, call them back before a week, coach. That might help you maybe securing a job.
Yeah, that's a great point. And then when you get brought into that place, put your best foot forward, make sure you make the best impression, and let people know how am I going to make this decision look really smart for you as the general manager. You bring me in, I'm going to make you look really good. I'm going to contribute in a way that's not only productive offensively, but I'm going to help other people be better as well.
I think Dorsey and Hugh, they made a decision, and it was only going to be between one of those wide receivers.
Dez and Josh.
Because you cannot spend the kind of money, $16 million a year, Jarvis Landry, and he is the A personality. He is the go-to. He is based on the money. And based on his personality. You cannot bring Josh Gordon and Dez Bryant and you're saying that you care about Antonio Callaway and his career. That's just too many personalities in one room.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. Appreciate having you here. Coming up, one of LeBron's former teammates has a warning for Lonzo Ball. Talk some basketball on the other side. This is First Things First.
Coach, can I tell you about the outfit Nick had on the first time I met him for the job?
Man, I looked good at that casino.
Danielle, I don't know where you were at in the wardrobe.